even if it'll work for the next 100 years the way it is, I've seen it fail. And once you've seen something fail, it's really hard to shake that feeling. At 79,000 miles, it's time to say goodbye to the E39 M5 from this driveway. Don't worry, I'm not selling it. Sorry I snaked you a little bit. But it is going to go somewhere a little safer because lately I don't have a place to store this indoors. This has been under a cover outside and it's not great. I mean, look, it's an old car. You know, it's gonna rust. It's gonna have problems because it's sitting outdoors. And the cover's great because it does a relatively good job of hiding it from the elements, particularly from UV light. So I don't have as much concern about like leather deterioration or paint deterioration, but I do have concerns about just humidity and being exposed to changing temperatures. So, man, that secondary air pump or whatever that is, making a lot of noise. But what does need to happen is it needs to be indoors, and today it's going indoors. We're gonna take it up to Woburn to G42. My friend David, who I did the cross-country road trip in the Miata with, has opened a car storage facility, and this is getting a new home. That PDC is alerting me because the front plate, which I always run a front plate. A lot of people hate that I run a front plate, but like, look, I don't want to be pulled over for dumb stuff. If you want to pull me over for a damn good reason, but don't pull me over. Don't give them a reason to pull you over for the front plate. That's silly. God, this car is enjoyable to drive. But yeah, let's go head on up to Woburn and put the car in Garage 42. You're gonna love what it looks like up there. I promise you, this place is out of control. David did an amazing job. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This might be your first time seeing the E39 M5 that I have. I don't drive it that often. I bought it probably when? It's gotta be 7 years ago now. I think 7 years ago. And it had 62,000 miles on it when I bought it. It was a one-owner car, and when I bought it, it just was the car. I mean, I would have preferred a white one, let's be honest, but carbon black is fine. It was just in such great condition. Ooh, there's an M3 convertible, cool. And it was really like now or never when I was buying this car, and they were under $20,000. And I mean, E39 M5s, they haven't gone crazy. I mean, like if you get like a low mileage one, sure, you could spend up to $100,000, which I think is absolutely silly and stupid. Go find something else. You've got too much money at that point. I mean, what the hell? Preserve an M5 if you'd like. But yeah, they've shot up now. These are kind of in that 25 to 50 range, which is really cool. I don't know about this one. I'm not trying to sell you my car, but by all means, if you want it, let me know. Because if you didn't know, I quit my job in March, and I'm doing this video thing full time. And I'll tell you, if there's one car that gets sold out of the fleet, it's probably this one. If I needed to make some money, or if I just needed to invest in some equipment, this would definitely be the car to go. But I do. That being said, it doesn't mean I don't love it. It's just that it's the most practical object to let go of. This shop over here is really cool. Oh, look at that 911. That's great. They've always got weird stuff in there. They've got an 850 CSI. David does have a nice trailer and an F350 Super Duty in the event that this tire blows out on me. I hope I don't have to call him for that. He's being nice enough, letting me keep the car up there. If I've got to call him for a tow as well, I think he'll be like, yeah, I'm really glad I let you do this. And we're not going to go crazy because it's wet and we're on corded tires. You know, drive according to the conditions. You should always know what condition your car is in, even if it's poor. Speaking of condition, I do have an inspection coming up next month, so I do need to get my tires sorted out before that. I don't know why I'm looking for cops. I'm not doing anything bad. What an instinct, you know, when you're like me, you tend to look in all of those gaps just in case, even when you're not doing anything wrong. One issue that I've had with this car in the past was the windshield wipers would just stop working. Like, just stop working. They'd go down, and then that was that. You couldn't do anything with the stock to make it work again. I've unplugged the clamshell's still open a little bit because I unplugged the auto rain sensors thinking maybe that was tripping it up. But turns out it was a fuse. There's a fuse box under the hood. You've got to dig out a bunch of stuff and open it up. It's an airtight or watertight fuse box. And there's like a relay, and it just it overheats. So you got to smash it and break up the terminal, and it worked. I mean, who knows what'll happen, but I never like driving this car in the rain for that reason, because I know that if I have to keep the windshield wipers on for a long period of time, I can't really trust it. Or at least, even if it'll work for the next 100 years the way it is, I've seen it fail. And once you've seen something fail, it's really hard to shake that feeling. The next scene is either going to be a tow truck or pulling up to Garage 42. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. I need fuel.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm outside.
Perfect.
So when you keep a car at Garage 42, you would have other access to this. But for right now, I've got David opening the door for me. This place is too cool. You're going to love it. This is the wash bay. There's David. And this is Garage 42. As you can see, everything in here is nice and clean. That is not. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you how abused this poor thing has been, because all this pollen, all this junk has just been dripping through the cover. I haven't been driving the car. It needs to be cleaned up, and especially if it's going to hang out with those boys in the main room, it's got to look the part. So we've got a wash bay in Garage 42. That means that any time that you were going to bring your car back to storage, it's going to go through the decontamination room before it gets put back. Their guys would wash it for you. I'm doing that myself today, of course. And then there's a cool waiting room in here. There's always going to be like rotating cars sitting in there. Let's get to work. This is filthy. Now that it's all washed up, it can sit here in its new home with some new friends. So I think keeping this in a nice, safe environment here is going to make a big difference in just making sure that I'm preserving a beautiful car. It's been a little while since we've been face to face. What do you think of the beard? It's kind of like a calendar. It can tell how long it's been since I quit my job. For the past 5 years, my M5 has either lived outdoors under a cover in my driveway, or it was in my friend's horse barn. Yes, a horse barn. And the amount of mouse traps and the amount of dead mice that I have caught in that barn, I wonder how many I didn't catch. But at Garage 42, all those worries kind of disappear, because not only is it not just a warehouse, I mean, it's humidity controlled, it's climate controlled. In the winter, your car's not gonna be in freezing temperatures. In the summer, it's not gonna be in outrageously hot temperatures. But what's most exciting is the service you get with the membership. So when you drop your car off, it doesn't just go straight into the storage bay. What's gonna happen is they're going to wash your car. They'll do a decontamination wash to make sure that they get all the junk that you've accumulated having fun with your toys off the car. Then it's gonna go into the main room, but it's just gonna sit there for about 24 hours before it's covered. So that way we can make sure it's all dry. We're not gonna get moldy anywhere. But if you're looking for more than just a quick wash, they'll also do vehicle detailing and PPF if you were interested in having that installed in your car. Like, you don't have to go bring it other places. It can all be done at Garage 42. So if you're in the Boston area, this is a really convenient place to keep your cars. But if you're not in the Boston area and you still like the idea of Garage 42, or you've got a car that's very mileage sensitive and you're just like, yeah, I don't really wanna drive it all the way there, they have a trailer, a covered trailer, and if you were interested in vehicle transport, they will be able to transport it to and from your home. If you've got more questions about Garage 42, you can ask in the comments, but probably makes more sense to just reach out to them on the DMs on the Garage 42 Instagram or their contact info on the website. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive. I'll see you in the next one.